Hi there, this is Amanda Frankel with our Crafty Playdate, and I wanted to show you I am in love with these little cactuses. Cacti? These little cacti. I am in love with them. My parents used to live in San Antonio, which they did have some there, but they moved to Phoenix and near Phoenix and to be closer to my sister, and just so many cactus with the beautiful flowers, and I am just in love with this, and I think the sentiment is adorable too. Be your own kind of beautiful. This is from the Flowering Desert stamp set, and as you can see, this guy, I built him. He's a lot of different little pieces. You can do an ear or the little arms. I did two little arms in this guy, but you could do these little ear cactuses too. So, and a little aloe looking plant. So this is just a great set, inexpensive, and you can make a really adorable card with just a little bit of ink and some paper, and there you go. So let's get started. It is in this new Occasions catalog. I was gonna mark the page and then I think I seriously just forgot, but it's right here. It's this stamp set here. It's only $16, guys. So this is inexpensive. And look, they did it all in pink. How adorable is that? And it looks great when you use a lot of different greens. So that's what we're going to use today. 2 different greens and a pink for the flower, but yellow flowers too. If you guys live in the Southwest, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's get started with this adorable little card. Oh, it's Celebration right now too, so you could get all of these things here, and that would be about $50 with the cardstock and some ink and that one little stamp set, and then you could pick something for free out of this catalog. So definitely keep that in mind. Let's get started and make this little card. I will list all of my measurements here for you because there are 3 different layers of paper on top of my card base, but I really wanted a really thin little slice of the darker green in there to just peek through. So I am going to start with my outside and work my way in, so with measurements here. This is a standard card base. So it was originally an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, which is just your normal piece of cardstock cut in half. So now it is 8.5 by 5.5, okay? And then I am going to fold it in half and score it. Let's see here. This is my bone folder that I got at Center Stage. Center Stage is when you go to convention, which is now called On Stage, and you're at least a manager, which is also now something else, Silver Elite. You get to go to a special reception, and this year it was at, look at all the green I have on my hands already. It was at Epcot Center, and we got to go, and they gave us these little bone folders and a stamp set. It was very fun. Okay, so this is my card base. That is a standard card base. Okay, my next layer is going to be this. This is Mint Macaron. I am so glad they brought this color back because A, I still had some and I really wanted to be able to use it, and B, it's just so adorable. This card base is 4 by 5.25, which is a standard panel. Okay, so if I'm ever talking and I just say a standard panel, that just means it's a 1/4 inch smaller than the outside. All right, so we're just moving in by a 1/4 inch on this first panel, and we're going to go ahead and glue it because we don't have to stamp on it, and it's just a layer, right? Now, if you are mailing this far away to a faraway place where postage is a little more dear, a little more expensive, you could always cut in here and hollow this out. You could do it with the new framelits that are rectangles. You could cut this out. Nobody would know when they opened it up because it's going to have a darker layer on top of it. Nobody would know that you did that, and it would take some of the weight out, and it would also save that rectangle for another card. Okay, the next panel that we're going to use is Tranquil Tide. This is 5 inches by 3 3/4. So again, I am just going down by a 1/4 inch. Okay, so far, no crazy measurements, just in a 1/4 inch, in a 1/4 inch. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this on there too. So this is Tranquil Tide. Did I tell you the name of this one? This is Berry Burst. Berry Burst, Mint Macaron. This is Tranquil Tide. So Berry Burst is one of the in colors, and so is Tranquil Tide. And both of this one and the one at the bottom here are going to be retiring. I know, it's so scary to think about, but they will be retiring in the next catalog. So if you own the ink pads in these colors, do yourself a favor, get online today and order the ink refills, because once they retire, or once about mid-April, you won't be able to get those ink refills anymore, and you're going to be sad, sad, sad when your ink pad goes dry and you no longer have that color. So order your ink refills today. They are seriously like $3.50 or something. I don't know. Something around there. Okay, this part of the card is done. I have to stamp my white, so why don't I move that out of the way and get started. Let me see. Did I even bring it over here? I may not have, because that's just the way I roll. Let's see if one of these is the right size. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm going to have to trim it right in front of you. Because I don't know where I put it. How funny is that? Not super funny, actually. All right. So this inside white should be 4 7/8 by 5 1/8. So it is just going to be a haircut off an original panel. Okay, so it is 4 7/8. I'm going to move this up here so you can see what I'm doing. So here's 4, 4 1/2, 4 3/4, 4 7/8. It's right there, right before the 5. This is marked down to the 1/16 of an inch. Here, I'm going to move that up. This is marked all the way down to the 1/16 of an inch. You're just going to the 1/8, and I'm going to cut that off. Throw it on the floor. And then it is 3 5/8. So 3, and that would be 3 4/8. So 3 5/8 is right there. I'm going to slide that down and cut it and throw that one on the floor. Okay, so there you go. Now you know for a fact what size it is, because I just did it right in front of you. Okay, so now I am going to not glue that on until after I've stamped it, in case I hate it and I have to flip it over, which that sometimes happens. That sometimes happens in the big city. Okay, so this is my Stampin' Pierce mat. The reason that I am bringing this in to use is because this stamp set is photopolymer. Photopolymer means the clear kind that you can see straight through, the see-through kind. Since I'm using that kind, it has no foam between the actual stamping surface and the block. So I need something that has a little bit of give. Okay, so that's why I'm using this. I'm going to use the Tranquil Tide ink. This is still my old ink style pad, because since it's going to be retiring, I don't need to get the new one. I can just make do. Make do. All right, and this guy can be down here and a little low, and it's fine. This stamp set is a little mottled. See how it's a little mottled here? It's not a super solid image. So if it's not super solid, that is okay. It is supposed to look kind of rusticy, and that's perfectly just fine. So that was Tranquil Tide. And now we are going to use our Mint Macaron ink. This one I do have the new ink pad because it's staying. It's part of the permanent collection now. So it is the new ink pad, which is great because I can see which one it is. If I had both of these two laying next to each other on the table in a class and said, okay, stamp one and the other, unless they knew old ink pad is this color, new ink pad is this color, by looking at the ink pad itself, they could not tell, and they would have put the wrong stamp in there, and then you've got a polluted one. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stamp this little dude. So I'm going to start with his body. His body is this piece here. I'm going to put this here so you can see what I'm doing. This is the body that I'm using. I'm going to do it up a little bit so I can put my sentiment under it, and I'm just lightly tapping that. So that's the light body, and it's okay that it's light like that. It's good. I've got the two arms. So this is the long arm. It looks to me like a pickle. Tell me that's not going to be a pickle at some point. It is. It is going to be a pickle. All right. I'm inking that up, and I'm going to make it stick right off the side there. And then this is the little piece right here. Okay. I'm using that piece here, and I'm going to use it twice. I'm going to put one sticking out here like this. Your cactus does not have to look like my cactus, okay? The beauty of nature, they don't have to be exactly the same. The reason that I have these arms like this is I wanted 3 flowers. Your eye loves 3, right? 3 and 5, and you know all the rules like that. Your eye loves 3, and so I wanted to do 3. Okay, and this is my Berry Burst. Again, since this is a retiring color, I don't have the new ink pad. Look at this. Look at this. I look like a kindergartner. I cannot believe how much ink I have on myself. Okay, I am going to do a couple things with that color. I'm going to do the sentiment here, right? So that sentiment, and then I'm also going to do the flowers. Okay, so let's get started on that. I've got my sentiment on my block. Now, have you heard the news? I'll talk to you while I'm doing this here. That Stampin' Up! Is eliminating wood mount blocks altogether, wood mount stamps. So they will all be either this kind of photopolymer, or they'll be the clear mount, which still stick on here, but they're red rubber, or they'll be the new cling, which, oh my goodness, if you haven't seen them, you're gonna love them. Beautiful. I love the font of that. Isn't that great? Okay, and then this is the little flower. So that was this, right? And now this is a little flower. And I'm gonna put 3 flowers because I loves 3. Your eye loves 3. And they're so easy to place. You don't even need your Stamparatus for this because you can see right through the stamp. Look at that. And that is all there is to this card. It is so, so very easy. It is 3 colors of ink, but seriously, I talked a lot in this video and it's still only 10 minutes. So you can see that it didn't take long at all. And I'm using my liquid glue here. And you know what? I am going to, my daughter may not watch this video, so I'm going to give this to my daughter because she is her own little kind of beautiful. All right, so you can see that this white piece is not a 1/4 of an inch smaller. Remember how I went 1/4 of an inch in, 1/4 of an inch in? This is not 1/4 of an inch in, it's only 1/8 of an inch in. And I did that because I only want a super thin little margin of the dark green, just to set it off a little bit. There you go. Now I would stick a normal size panel in here on the inside that I can write on, because not that you could tell by this video, but I am a little verbose, which means I like to talk a lot. And so I have a lot to say. I don't want to use a small panel in there. I'm going to use the whole Magilla. There you go. Ooh, got a little hair there. All right, so that is it. And the card is done. And now you can see that I've got one for each of my daughters. Thank you very much for stopping by. Please be sure to subscribe. Welcome to my new subscribers, but please be sure to subscribe. And also be sure that you click the little bell so that when I make a new video, you won't miss it. Also, if you're seeing this on my Facebook group, you can click over and go to my YouTube channel and check out all the videos that I have for you. Or if you're seeing this on my YouTube channel, be sure that you click over and go to the Facebook group of the same name, Our Crafty Playdate, and join us because we have discussions there and we post different things that we don't have videos for. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Video, I'm sorry, you have a video. You've got me. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator of your very own, I would love to be yours. You can visit my website here, and thank you so much for stopping by, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.